Good morning, beautiful people. It's Dina. I just wanted to hop on real quick and just share a word. This morning I was getting ready. I'm going to be doing a long day of recording with my friend Christina for our new podcast, The Junk Drawer Mamas. And I was just kind of taking in everything that's been happening and just really trying to wrap my mind around the different season that I'm in right now, and just being so grateful to God that I am out of the dark season. But my heart really was just going towards those moms that feel like their life is just being a mom. And maybe you don't feel that way. Maybe you're one of those moms that absolutely love every single aspect of your role as a mom, and you feel very satisfied and fulfilled, and you just feel like that's your purpose on this planet, is to be a mom. But then there's some of us that feel like there is more than this. And I'm not saying I don't enjoy my role as a mom. I do. I love all of my kids so much. I could not imagine my life without them. I have 5 beautiful kids. Right now, I'm still raising a special needs child. And so that's a different season than it was raising my other 4. And so, there are days that I just feel like I don't know if this is ever going to end. And I just want to encourage you that if God has placed a desire in your heart to be something more, then there's nothing wrong with that. That doesn't make you less of a mom. It doesn't make you, need to feel guilty because you want something for yourself. And so for so long, I felt like that's all I was here for, was just to serve other people. It was just to take care of my family. And even in this season, I feel like I'm just never going to get past the poopy accidents. I'm sorry for my language, but when you're dealing with a special needs child, that's a daily thing. But I also recognize that there's a part of me that is not just that. Before, that's all I could see my identity as, was just a mom. This is all I have to do. I didn't feel like I was worth anything. I think that I did a very good job as being a mom. I don't know, you can ask my kids, but I feel like I'm a good mom. I'm a good wife. But I just never felt truly satisfied, because I know that God has placed something more inside of me. And so as I'm stepping into this new season, and I'm starting to just really take in what 2025 is going to be, and also just looking back over this last year, which has probably been one of the hardest years I've had to walk through. And it wouldn't look like that based on what happened in my life. I mean, the prior year to that, my dad passed away. We had a house fire. That was very traumatic. And there have been things in my life that have been, very, very difficult to walk through. This past year has been more about my internal growth, God purging from me things that couldn't go with me into this new season, purging mindsets, putting away lies that I believed about myself, which was one of them, was that I was not worth anything, or that I'm just here to be a mom and to serve everybody. I was constantly feeling overlooked, and a lot of that was just my own mindset about myself and my own identity. And I'm not saying that our family doesn't tend to, take us for granted or overlook us. I think that is normal. I think that is, both husbands and wives feel that way. I think kids feel overlooked. I think moms feel overlooked. I think we feel like all we're doing is giving of ourselves and we're not putting enough back in. That is very normal. But what I'm talking about is something that goes deeper than that I think the enemy is trying to get you to feel like you're not worth anything, that nobody cares, that nobody would care if you weren't here. And I wrestled with that for so long. And I'd shared that with you on one of my other videos about just constantly feeling like I just wanted to get off this planet. I didn't want to live anymore. It wasn't because I wanted to hurt anybody. I just was so tired of feeling this heaviness and this pain in my heart. And so God is really taking me through a journey this past year of inner healing and deliverance of things that were strongholds in my life. So it seemed like this past year was one of the hardest years I went through, because it was the forging in fire. And so as I sit here now in this new season, and I feel like I'm finally stepping into a new calling as an influencer, a content creator. I'm actively building my YouTube channel, especially Empowered Moms. I'm about to launch a podcast with my best friend Christina. I'm in the middle of writing my own book, and then this one that we are in a compilation book. It's called Resilience. I am one of the authors in this book, so I am now a published author. I'm just wrapping my brain around like what that actually means. you don't realize as you're going through all of that and you're writing and you're pouring your heart out as you're wiping up poopy messes and dealing with dirty dishes and, just trying to do all the to-dos that you have to do, like something amazing happened. I became a published author and I'm launching a new business. And I just there was such a season where it was just dry and I felt like I was never going to come out of that. And I just want to encourage you that God will always, always redeem what was lost. Always redeem what was broken. I don't know what 2025 holds complete, but I know what I'm decreeing, declaring over my life. I know what I'm now looking forward to. I know what I'm standing in expectation for. Before, I wasn't expecting anything other than trouble. That's all I was focused on. I was so focused on the trials and the trouble and the pain that all I did was attract more of that to my life. All it was, I felt more overlooked, more used, more unappreciated. And it was because that's all I was focused on. I wasn't focusing on God's goodness or even my goodness, or even allowing myself to be proud of who I am and who I've become and what I'm doing and how I contribute. And I believe God will use me to contribute to other people. Just like right now, I hope this encourages one mom to know that you're not overlooked. God sees everything. If you're in a season where you're knee deep in diapers or, kids running around or husbands that are working, overtime, and you don't have enough time to even take a shower or put some makeup on or even just sit down and take a breath, that's okay. That's the season that you're in. But how you choose to view that season is everything. I viewed mine was like I was in a prison. And that was pride. I didn't even realize it was pride. I would have never thought of myself as a prideful person. But it was, because it was so self-focused. It was so focused on what I wasn't getting, my needs that were not being met. All I had to do for everyone else. Poor me. That's all I ever thought about. But I never recognized it because it was a blind spot for me. And God had to really show me that through the other people in my life. And it wasn't that the other people said these things to me, but God pointed out how I was viewing them and my false perception of them. And so as I just sit here in excitement, we're going to spend another long day recording today. We're going to be launching our podcast on the 15th, and we still have a lot to do. And I feel back in that busy mode of an entrepreneur again. And I feel like the excitement. I got up this morning. My family's still sleeping. I got up. I got my hair done, my makeup on, and I'm at my desk and ready to get things started for the day. I'm not just a mom anymore. Now, again, not that just a mom is not okay. But for me, that's not what God put me on this planet for. So I'm actually living out what I believe my true desire, my true purpose is as I'm being a mom. I'm going to be a mom for the rest of my life. And I'm going to be a wife for the rest of my life. So that's never going to change. But I also get to step into Dina. I get to finally step into what's important to Dina. And I didn't have to require anything from anybody else. Nobody else had to step up and pave the way and make room for me to be who I am. It was a mindset shift for me. It was me choosing to step into that. My environment didn't change. My marriage didn't change. My kids didn't change. My finances didn't change. Everything is still the same from the outside perspective, but who I am on the inside is radically transformed. Sometimes I look in the mirror and I feel unrecognizable to who I was before because how I view the world, how I view myself, how I view God, all of that. And so I hope as you watch these videos or follow me on social media or whoever, I hope you find somebody that will encourage you. It doesn't have to be me. Just saying, I hope that you will look deep inside yourself and see beyond the circumstance that you find yourself in, because they are temporary. And God will restore everything that has been lost. And God will do a new thing. And sometimes it takes going through some tough stuff in order for God to prepare you to hold the new things. You can't put new wine in old wineskins. You have to become new yourself so that you can hold the weight that won't burst because you're not able to hold that. So anyway, I am just excited. Like I said, it's day 5, and I just felt like I wanted to get on here and encourage someone. So hopefully, whoever it was that watched this today, that you feel like there is purpose beyond what you're going through. There's purpose beyond your struggles. There's purpose beyond your identity as a mom or a wife. Don't be afraid to step out and do something big, even though you're in that season right now. So I thank you so much. I just want to let you guys know that I love you. You're loved by the creator of the universe, and you're loved by me. So I will see you next. Have an awesome day. Bye.